I'm wondering, just to make it sort of even more relatable for someone that's listening to this, if they've been kind of intrigued by this and what you're sharing, what's a take home experiment or like homework
Yeah.
assignment or like challenge or curiosity or investigation that someone could try at home from this conversation of like, what is happening here? Or what, or even a thing of
Yeah,
an
yeah.
intervention of what to do if there is a problem.
Yeah, great question. So a really simple experiment that's totally different than everything we've been talking about so far
Mm-hmm.
is go to YouTube
Mm.
and pull up some video that there's sort of two ways to do this. One is like pull up a video of somebody you don't particularly like or some like news channel that you don't watch or something like that. But another version of this is like pull up a video of a guy that of some person that you genuinely think might have good things to say about relationships or something like that. Um, Relationships are sort of a good topic for this, or just like psychology, motivation, things that you have a lot of your own embodied experience of how things work, right? You're like, what works for you and what doesn't, even if you don't know that you know it. That's actually probably better than the newscaster one, but you can do this with anything. So, and then you watch the video and try to pay attention in your own mind for phrases like "I don't buy it" or "That's bullshit" or
Mm-hmm.
"No, that doesn't work because," and then probably some model or some memory or some
Mm-hmm.
experience you have that suggests that the advice they're giving won't work. Um, and or pay attention in your body to just like moments of tension or like you might even notice yourself shaking your head no a little bit, and then just pause the video and just take a moment to respect your own distrust,
Mm-hmm.
um, and to recognize and having respected your own distrust enough, which might just be a little bit, or you might need to hold 10 minutes of just like really like, wow, yeah, I really don't trust this. Having done that a little bit, return your attention to the video. Don't even hit play again yet, unless you've completely forgotten what he was saying. But return your attention to the video, and then go, yeah, okay, this person, even though I've got some distrust about the safety or relevance or validity of this advice, this person genuinely thinks this is a thing worth saying. And if you're in a situation where the person, this is why I was saying maybe don't do the newscaster thing, because that's a whole different like bullshit factory. But like if you're in a situation where you're watching someone who you genuinely think has things worth saying, right? Like and then it's like, can you hold simultaneously, there's something that's off about this for me, but also they are saying it and they think there's something important and worthwhile about what they're saying, like, and can you sort of respect that those are both true at once? um that could be just like really basic practice in, I mean, self-trust for one, like um the as I said, building self-trust is one of the kind of core pieces of the upward spiral thing. um but we didn't actually talk that much about how to do it,
Mm-hmm.
and I would say that this is one, is like listen to or watch or whatever people saying stuff, and just notice all the moments when your inner voice for whatever reason says, I don't buy it. Just be like, great, I don't have to buy it, and just really really honoring that. And then you might have some other part that like of yourself that gets upset at the part of you that's like, I don't buy it, that's like, look, if you don't buy this, then we're never going to be able to solve our motivation problems. You're like, so I don't buy that we don't buy it. It's like, great, welcome, hello, yes, like, yeah. And this like this connects on a sort of deep level with the say the obvious thing, which is that like part of why we need to say the obvious thing sometimes, well, there's a few reasons. I mean, one of them is just like what's obvious from my perspective is not obvious from your perspective, but also things that in a sane society would be obviously common knowledge are not common knowledge in our society. The history of how we were, broadly speaking, raised, you know, everything from parenting to schooling and so forth, has done a lot to undermine the validity of our own experience as a basis for knowing. You know, a little kid knows that it's time for them to go to the bathroom, and the teacher is like, "No, not now, Jimmy."
Mm-hmm.
Or knows that something about what they're being taught or how they're being taught it isn't working. And it's like, no, this is education,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, people get essentially gaslit about what learning even is. Like, and this is related to what you're saying about models of human beings. You know, if you model human beings as being incredibly learny creatures, then and that become less so by adulthood.
Mm.
I mean, part of that is neuroplasticity, very small part of that in the grand scheme of things. But 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 it's like, what happens to people such that they get less learning when they go through education?
Mm. Mm.
Anyway, I have lots of rants on that available too.
Yeah.
So that's an exercise, and that's a fun exercise because kind of anybody can do it. You're potentially already on YouTube right now. In
Mm-hmm.
fact, you could even like consider, you could like think back over your experience of listening to this podcast, and you could be like, is there anything Malcolm said that seemed kind of like bullshit, or like kind of, you know, like I didn't buy it, or I thought he was naive or confused or something. And like any voice that you have in yourself like that is like exactly what you need to be listening to. And you know, when I said like I don't have on my own, like I couldn't possibly make this whole thing happen, in part because it's not a one person sized thing. That's partially because, yeah, lots of what I'm saying is bullshit. Like it's from other people's perspectives. None of it's bullshit from my perspective, or I wouldn't be saying it. But like it indeed is naive to lots of realities of what being human and being in relationship is like. And so I need to be able to listen